Hi, Snehal ma'am.
Hi Rahul, how are you?
I'm doing great. We are just arranging things. We are waiting for Eric and all to join. We will be joining by 11, ma'am.
No worries. I'll be online. Just
Thank
thought
you.
I'd let you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
This June, we celebrate a city that reimagined learning, led with innovation, and inspired the world. Helsinki, hundreds of years of progress, purpose, and people-first values. And for the first time ever, Helsinki Day is celebrated beyond Finland. Lifology in Finland 2030, in collaboration with the Embassy of Finland in India, presents a historic celebration. A gathering of top school leaders, policy voices, and change makers. United by a shared mission: education, innovation, and sustainability. Join us in honouring a legacy that connects continents and launches new possibilities. June 12th, Helsinki Day. Together, let's build bridges from Finland to the future. This June, we celebrate a city that reimagined learning, led with innovation, and inspired the world. Helsinki, hundreds of years of progress, purpose, and people-first values. And for the first time ever, Helsinki Day is celebrated beyond Finland. Lifology in Finland 2030, in collaboration with the Embassy of Finland in India, presents a historic celebration. A gathering of top school leaders, policy voices, and change makers. United by a shared mission: education, innovation, and sustainability. Join us in honouring a legacy that connects continents and launches new possibilities. June 12th, Helsinki Day. Together, let's build bridges from Finland to the future. This June, we celebrate a city that reimagined learning, led with innovation, and inspired the world. Helsinki, hundreds of years of progress, purpose, and people-first values. And for the first time ever, Helsinki Day is celebrated beyond Finland. Lifology in Finland 2030, in collaboration with the Embassy of Finland in India, presents a historic celebration. A gathering of top school leaders, policy voices, and change makers, united by a shared mission: education, innovation, and sustainability. Join us in honoring a legacy that connects continents and launches new possibilities. June 12th, Helsinki Day. Together, let's build bridges from Finland to the future. This June, we celebrate a city that reimagined learning, led with innovation, and inspired the world. Helsinki, hundreds of years of progress, purpose, and people-first values. And for the first time ever, Helsinki Day is celebrated beyond Finland. Lifology in Finland 2030, in collaboration with the Embassy of Finland in India, presents a historic celebration. A gathering of top school leaders, policy voices, and change makers, united by a shared mission: education, innovation, and sustainability. Join us in honoring a legacy that connects continents and launches new possibilities. June 12th, Helsinki Day. Together, let's build bridges from Finland to the future.
We'll be starting in another couple of minutes. People are joining by 11, so a couple of minutes more by sharp 11.
This June, we celebrate a city that reimagined learning, led with innovation, and inspired the world. Helsinki, hundreds of years of progress, purpose, and people-first values. And for the first time ever, Helsinki Day is celebrated beyond Finland. Lifeology in Finland 2030, in collaboration with the Embassy of Finland in India, presents a historic celebration. A gathering of top school leaders, policy voices, and change makers, united by a shared mission: education, innovation, and sustainability. Join us in honouring a legacy that connects continents and launches new possibilities. June 12th, Helsinki Day. Together, let's build bridges from Finland to the future.
Good morning to all. Good morning to all. Thank you. And we have all the guests. We have also principals joined. So Kriti, we can start. We have people joined from across Finland, the Middle East and India. Kriti, please go ahead.
A very good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to the Helsinki Day Celebration 2025. A truly special gathering where tradition meets transformation. Today, we are not just marking 475 years of founding of Helsinki, we are celebrating a global movement towards a more inclusive, equitable, and future-ready education system. Jointly organized by Finland 2030 and Lifeology, and with all the support from the Embassy of Finland, this digital conclave brings together over 200 visionary school leaders, educators, and policymakers from India, the Middle East, and the Finland. This celebration also marks a milestone in our joint journey through the Finland 2030 initiative, shaped by the wisdom of global experts and anchored in the visionary Curriculum 2030. As we begin this meaningful exchange, I also extend a warm welcome to everyone watching us live on our digital platforms. Your presence adds tremendous value to this global celebration. Throughout today's session, we will explore best practices, hear from thought leaders, and share ideas that can reshape the future of education, not just in Finland, but across continents. Now, to truly set the tone for this meaningful celebration, it's an honor to invite someone whose vision and leadership have been instrumental in bringing this global initiative to life. Please join me in welcoming Pareen Parvaneshwar sir, the CEO of Lifeology, joining us live from Dubai. Praveen sir has been instrumental in bridging global education ecosystems and bringing the essence of Finnish excellence to learners and educators across the world. With his deep commitment to future-focused, human-centric learning, sir will now share his thoughts and help us understand the large vision behind this global initiative. Over to you, sir, to set the context.
Thank you, Kriti. Good morning, all. So respected Mr. Eric, Ms. Lisa, and respected principals. So we have Snehal Pinto ma'am from RAN, so Ramik ma'am from Kunsap Scotland, so Ajit sir from Doon, Namita ma'am from Venkateshwara, Howard, Mr. Howard from the DSP International, Drupa ma'am from Sun City, and Padmaja ma'am from joining us from Mumbai. Hey, sir. And so a lot of people, other principals as well, so joining us from different part of India and Middle East. So it was 2 years back. So we were in Slush. Slush is, as all of you know, so one of the biggest startup festivals happening in Helsinki. So we were in Slush to explore an opportunity or explore multiple opportunities for synergetic and deep collaborations. With the support of Mr. Uni and Dr. Anoop of Venture Village, we got connected with the University of Helsinki. So what we started doing along with the University of Helsinki and Lifeology worked very closely for around 2 years and created a curriculum. Initially, we didn't have the idea to create a curriculum. We just wanted to create a program. We wanted to co-create just a simple program to transform human life. But the discussions evolved into a level whereas we together, the number one university in Finland and Lifeology, the Guinness World Record winning, Times Award winning organization, we joined hands to create a curriculum as it is to transform human life by focusing on the emotional well-being, 21st century skills, innovation, entrepreneurship, global outlook, and also career planning. So it evolved as a meticulous curriculum. So we are so thankful for Venture Village as well as the University of Helsinki for the support. And once this curriculum was ready and set, we really wanted to show the curriculum the light. So we wanted to launch the curriculum. So that happened on 16th of January this year. So Mr. Eric Holstorm and Dr. Ms. Murka from University of Helsinki, Dr. Professor Marcus Talvio from University of Helsinki. So they were in India and Mr. Eric released the curriculum to the world. And based on the curriculum, so we have created programs where it's like, the International Future Boot Camp, where the students can fly to Finland and attend the program in Helsinki, and also another version, whereas the students can attend the program in India as well. And we are so happy today because around 38 days from today, moving forward, the first batch of that is traveling to Finland to attend the program, a 30-member cohort from some of the top schools in India and Middle East, including the Welham Boys, Habitat School, the Apuram School. GEMS are flying to Finland to attend the program, which will be followed by another groups in September, October, and November, including the schools from Ramnik Ma'am School is traveling. So DSP, we are expecting to get students joining from DSP. So Namita Ma'am Venkateshwara Global is traveling, Sun City students are traveling. And we had all the plans with in Iran also to launch a wonderful batch, and we are looking forward for that again. And so it's like where we started, just a meeting in Slush or at the side of Slush, and where we are, a lot of a curriculum and meticulous program, and students are traveling and the programs are happening in schools. So we are pretty sure that we are making a revolution in the way of co-curricular education. And we firmly believe whatever we call it as co-curricular education is not something which has to be at the side of education, but it has to be the part of it. It has to be embedded, and it has to be a wonderful part of the total development, because we look forward when the jobs and life is getting transformed by technology. So it's not only technology, so lifeology will be very important. As like psychology or sociology or biology, we really look forward to see that people need to study lifeology, and that has to be combining with technology, and lifeology and technology will make life fruitful and meaningful in future. And that's what the mission of lifeology as well. Whereas in the curriculum 2030 firmly believe, so we need to lead people to a meaningful future where they enjoy happiness, financial independence, fulfillment, and purpose. So this is the base. And when we are doing all this, and the city which is closely connected to our heart is celebrating its 475th year, so how can we keep us away from celebrating it in India and the Middle East where we are? So that is where we decided it is our duty and responsibility to join hands with Finland, the Finnish population, the embassy, to celebrate the Helsinki Day in India and Middle East as well. And that's where we are here. So we are so glad and proud to be part of this celebration. I'm so thankful to Mr. Eric to join us again for this event. So Lisa from the embassy to join us, and Mr. Uni from Venture Village to join us, and all the principals and educational leaders. Thank you so much for being part of this program. And we are really looking forward to listen to you all, learn from you all, and also to take this entire initiative to the next level. We firmly believe India and Finland has a lot to do together, and this will be a wonderful step forward. And I'm so happy to see around. So a good group joined here, and we have around 218 principals, 20 principals, and educational leaders joining from different schools on through our different platforms. Thank you so much. Over to you, Kriti. I'm really looking forward to listen to all the speeches and all the words. Thank you so much. And happy that I'm seeing all of you here. Welcome to the event. Kriti.
Thank you so much, Praveen sir, for the insightful and inspiring address. Your words have beautifully set the context for why this celebration matters, not just as a tribute to Helsinki, but as a step forward in the global education reform. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Ms. May Cockshire, the Director of Finland 2030, a dynamic leader at the heart of this transformative movement. Over to you, Mike.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great to see everybody. And good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome also from my side. So my name is Michael Krautschat, and I'm the Director of Finland 2030 Education Initiative. And I wish everyone a happy and harmonious Helsinki Day. Yes, today we gather to celebrate the vibrant heart of Finland. This city, Helsinki, is more than just the capital of Finland. It's a symbol for innovation, resilience, and shared values. And from the historic streets to its modern marvels, Helsinki unites tradition and progress, and we honor its beauty and the spirit of the people, open, kind, and forward-looking. Helsinki really stands as a beacon of sustainability, culture, and global cooperation in education. On this Helsinki Day, let us cherish Helsinki with pride and joy, remembering what makes this city truly unique. And happy Helsinki Day to everyone. And I formally also want to welcome Erik F. Hellström, Consul General of Finland to India. Then we have Dr. Liisa Toivonen, Counselor for Science and Education Policy from the Embassy of Finland. Dr. Snehal Pinto, Director of the Ryan International Group. Praveen Parameshwar, CEO of Lifeology. Uni Krishna Kurup, from the MD of Venture Village from Finland. And the eminent principals and educationists we have across the Middle East, India, and Finland. I want to welcome as well Ramneek Batra, Head of Academics from Kunskapsskolan in India, Rupa Chakrabarti, Director of the Sun City Schools, Dr. Howard G., Principal of DSB International School, Ajit Jacobs, the Resident Principal from the Dune International School Riverside Campus, Dr. Padmaja Eskuti, Principal from Maindevi Bajaj International School in Mumbai. Then we have in the second panel, for the second panel discussion, Reverend Father Melvin Anil Lobo. He's principal at the St. Joseph School in Bangalore. Dr. Namita Singhal, principal at Venkateshwar Global School in Delhi. Mr. Faisal Khan, and also Adil CT will be joining. He's entrepreneur in the academic space and also from the Habitat School Group, and CB Mishra. Okay, this is from my side. I would like to hand over to the next speaker. Who is this, Mr. Praveen Parameshwar?
Thank you, Mike, for the warm welcome. Your words reflect the heart of Finland 2030 vision. We are truly grateful for your leadership and commitment to reimagining education for the future. Now it's a great honor and privilege to invite Erik Hellström, Sir, Consul General of Finland, to deliver the inaugural address. Sir has been a distinguished advocate for cross-cultural collaboration and a steadfast champion of the educational innovation. His leadership has not only strengthened the bonds between Finland and the world, but has also illuminated the path towards a more inclusive and future-ready global education system. As we celebrate 475th anniversary of the Helsinki, a city that stands as a beacon of resilience, sustainability, and learning, we are truly eager to hear from you, sir, not just for Finland, but for educators and learners around the world. Sir, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, Krati and Mike and Praveen for the kind words and for this fantastic initiative. And thank you also to Lifeology, because you are really pioneers in bringing Finnish education to Kerala, to India, and the world. Really, I had the honor to participate in the Curriculum 2030 grand opening in Kerala exactly 5 months ago. And I'm personally very happy and glad to note the vibrant cooperation that is going on between Helsinki University and the HI Plus program and its Indian partner, Lifeology. It was indeed 475 years ago in 1550 on this day that King Gustav Vasa established a small new village, a town in the place where Helsinki is now located. But it was only in 1812 that Helsinki became the capital of Finland, and this was before the independence of Finland that was declared on the 6th of December 1917. But it's a great idea to in this way celebrate the capital of Finland, which is also called the daughter of the Baltic Sea. I am right now quite far away from my capital. I'm sitting here in Bandra Kurla complex, or as we say, BKC, which is a vibrant business district in Mumbai, the economic city capital of India. This Consulate General of Finland is still Finland's youngest diplomatic mission. It was established only in 2022, and I took office on the 1st of January 2023. Diplomatic relations between Finland and India were established already in 1949, only 2 years after India's independence in 1947. Both countries established embassies in each other's capital, but then in 2022, we realized in Finland, or my government realized, that it's too difficult to cover the whole country from Delhi alone, which is also located quite north in India. So therefore, Finland established a consulate general here in Mumbai. Bilateral relations between Finland and India are good and active and vibrant. They rely on the partnerships that were established by Prime Ministers Narendra Modi and Sanna Marin when they met in Copenhagen in 2022. They decided to establish partnerships on digitalization and sustainability, and with have special focus on education. One aspect of the bilateral relationship is that more and more Indians go to Finland as tourists, as students, or to work there. There are actually more than 22,000 people now with Indian descent. Some of them stay in Finland, some of them go back, but anyway, they enrich our culture, and nowadays also cricket, yoga, and biryani are part of the Finnish culture, not only the Indian culture. Well, a few words about the Consulate General. We support all national interests of Finland here from Mumbai. It's not only about export and import of ready-made products anymore, it's also about investments in both direction, which are growing. Finnish investments to India value is about $4 billion, and Indian investments to Finland more than $1.5 billion already. But this investment trend is growing all the time. But of course, these commercial interests are of course related to other interests like media relations, cultural relations, country branding, events. But I must tell you that education in all aspects has been very much present in my time here in India, because there's so much interest in India towards the Finnish model. It's about teachers training, it's about university exchange at faculty level, it's about academic cooperation, and also basic education of small children. And of course, we are willing, we Finnish people, to tell about the Finnish model, to see if there's something we can combine or bring to India. One basic principle in Finland is that we believe that equal opportunities for individuals and communities to improve their knowledge are a cornerstone of high quality education. And today we can see that our education system is a consequence of this long-term commitment. One other principle in Finland that education is free on all levels from preschool to university. School lunches and study materials like books, art, equipment are also free for all throughout comprehensive and secondary education. Free school meals were introduced nationally in 1948, where Finland was still a poor country suffering from the Second World War. So already since 1948, pupils in Finnish schools enjoy free school meals. The general principle is that everyone can go to the closest neighborhood school, which is just as good as any other school in the country. We give a lot of respect and professional freedom to our teachers also. Teachers generally in Finland are highly educated, they are skilled, motivated, and they have professional autonomy. They are encouraged to create, experiment, and mainstream new pedagogies and new learning environments. And on both primary and secondary levels, a master's degree is required for teachers, and teachers' education includes also teaching practice. A core principle of Finnish education policy has been the care for human capital. This is important since as a small country, Finland cannot afford to leave anyone behind. A small nation like Finland could not and cannot afford to waste the potential of its people by not educating them. So we know that to be successful in this big world, we need to harness the talents of each and every citizens. So these are a few of those principles that are guiding education policies in my country. I will stop now, but I look very much forward to the elaborations today. And of course, I'm willing to come in later on and answer any possible questions. I thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that powerful and forward-looking inaugural address. Your reflection on Helsinki's journey and Finland's global education outreach have truly set an inspiring tone for today's celebration. Your message reinforces why Finnish education continues to be a beacon for the world, grounded in values, yet boldly looking ahead. It's now my pleasure to invite Dr. Lisa Tovion, Counselor for Science and Education Policy at the Embassy of Finland, to deliver the keynote address. Dr. Lisa is a distinguished expert in shaping educational policy and fostering international collaboration in science and learning. Her insights promise to deepen our understanding of Finland's unique educational philosophy and its relevance in a global context. Dr. Lisa, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you and congratulations to Lifeology and Curriculum Finland 2030, because it looks like it's going very, very well on here in India, and I have heard quite a lot about it already. So I'm really happy that the cooperation between Finland and India is very vibrant here. But nevertheless, I'll welcome also from my behalf everybody, and principals and directors also, and of course the students to listen. I hope there are also students listening these speeches. And after Consul General Erik af Hellström, I don't want to repeat all the same issues, and it was really good insight about what Finland and India are doing together. So today I choose to talk about Finnish pedagogy a little bit, even though, of course, you principals and teachers might know most of the things, but still I would like to talk about it and raise some things. And of course, in the beginning, I would like to mention that India's new education policy 2020 is looking like very much a Finnish education policy. we are sharing many of the same values and targets in education. So thinking about that, I think it's very important to develop education together. And some of the things which we really can find in both education policies is to try to teach our students so that they would be ready for independent individual life and also ready for working life, which is now very much in discussions here in India, especially. As you said, future-ready education. And important parts of both policies are critical thinking, creativity, and innovations. How to teach our students to be like that. So I'll start by saying a couple of things about how Finland became global top performer. Erik already touched this issue a little bit. Finland is well known of its uniquely successful education system. But how do we know when the education is successful then? Finland is performing exceptionally well in global comparisons of pupils' skills. However, the benefits of good quality education to society, its overall welfare, economy and future prospects are all more important measures than standardized comparisons, I think. Important to notice is that Finland, we are performing well, but particularly well, we are performing in creative thinking, which is very important in our societies to be future ready. To have the creativity is very important. And not surprisingly, Finland excels much more than just high quality standards of our school education. Globally, Finland is top performer in numerous other metrics of performance, including economic competitiveness and innovations. Clean technology, equality and human development, civil liberties and gender equality, quality of life and happiness, equality index, of course, which everybody knows, environmental sustainability. We are the greenest country in the world also, and safest travel destination, which is now very important for the students going to Finland, I think. That's good to know, and for the parents as well. And finally, Finland is one of the least corrupt countries in the world. And all of these areas of excellence are tightly linked with education. The education system provides skills to reach all these and makes continuous development possible. The benefits of high-quality education to society, its overall welfare, economy, and future prospects are all more important measures than standardized comparisons. So I think that when we have reached those, we can really say that our education system is high quality. And as Erik already mentioned, everybody's contribution is needed. Finland is a small country with a population less than 6 million people. We cannot afford to leave people out. The core principle is that everybody's skills are needed. Everybody's participation is important for successful and competent society. And this really leads to equality. I would mention highly competent public education is free for everybody. And that also means because it's free, all the schools are public schools. And it makes us to be very equal, because both, let's say, upper class, or if we have those upper class students, but also the poorest ones, everybody are in the same classrooms, no matter what your religion is and what kind of home you have or anything. You are all working together, and that's our big strength. The objective of Finland's education is to guarantee equal opportunities for all. And that also includes that we have very versatile teaching methods. Everybody can't learn in the same way. And I can say that this also leads to the happiness. For 8 years already, we have been happiest country in the world. It has not came for free, as we can understand, and education is one of the cornerstones of the happiness. Our happiness is based on our satisfaction with what we have and on our belief in ourselves as well. We all need to live in harmony with the nature as well. In Finnish case, the harsh Nordic climate with long winters and short growing season has given an understanding of patience and the importance of long-term planning and sustainability, which can be seen as an important factor in our success as well. Still to this day, environmental sustainability is highly important, and nature-based pedagogy plays a meaningful role in education. So nature really plays an important role in our education. What is then Finnish pedagogy? As we heard already, it provides equal opportunities for learning and individual growth, emphasizes a holistic understanding, creativity, and the development of the students' skills. And I would say that main methods of Finnish pedagogy are positive pedagogy and student-centered education, which you, of course, in Curriculum 2030 understand very well. Positive pedagogy is simply noticing all the good things and strengths that a person has. The aim of positive teaching is to increase positive self-knowledge and holistic well-being and to confirm each student's own strengths. The more positive feedback we give, the more positive success we also get. Positivity is a great power. That is something that I think that we can't repeat too many times in education and when we are talking about Finnish education. And the other cornerstones and the main method in our education is student-centered teaching. Every student is valuable, respected, and trusted. And trust is something what is very important in our Finnish education and in our society also, like in the working life too. Teachers focus on identifying and improving on the positive characteristics of each student. We believe that everyone has the right to learn their own way to get the best possible results. And that is something that we also keep in our mind. And possibly I have been already reaching the end of my time given. Of course, I could speak endlessly about the positive pedagogy and student-centered education and everything connected to it, including hands-on skills and what all kind of good development it brings. But I would like to end by saying that out of the classroom and into the world is very important. And it's just what you are in Lifeology doing. And now you are going to pretty far out from the classroom. You are going out overseas to Finland and Helsinki. So I would just end by saying that happy journey to Finland and happy journey in India also from this on. All the best to everybody, and I'm also here to reply any questions you have. If you would like to ask something about more about Finland or what we are doing here in India. That's also, I'm ready to reply. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. It was a great privilege of meeting Lisa and Ambassador His Excellency Kimo nearly 2 months back when I went there. It was an unforgettable experience of me going to Helsinki, and I was really mesmerized by the city. I know the way of life, their understanding. So it was a great privilege, and we had lifeology. I know nearly 39 of our people, 40 people, I know are taking the first tour, followed by many batches with top schools in Middle East and India. So we would definitely, want more and more collaboration with Finland. And thank you, Eric and Lisa, for those kind words. We will get back to you with one or two questions. Before that, we would like to go to Dr. Snehal. Dr. Snehal is an educator with an experience of over 2 decades in various capacities, including teaching and leadership. She is considered as one of the foremost professionals in the K-12 sector in India. She is an educational leader, a thought leader who has traveled extensively. And along with Mike and Praveen, we were privileged to meet her at her office, where she was also very admiring regarding the Finland education and the best practices our both great nations can collaborate with each other. Snehal, no, the stage is all yours. And after your speech, we will have a couple of questions to both Eric and Lisa before we go to the round table. Dr. Snehal. And one more thing before you start, we acknowledge the presence of Shamir. Shamir is from Finland. Shamir's recent interview with the Finland Prime Minister was very much viral in the social media. Shamir is joining from Finland. Shamir, if you can just switch on the camera, thank you for joining. We also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Faisal Khan and Niche, one of the top universities down south. They are one of the best universities regarding international collaborations. We also have many of the school principals joining from Middle East. Thank you to all. When we come to the principal roundtable, we will individually acknowledge them. So thank you, Shamir and Nish, for joining. Dr. Snehal, please.
Thank you, Rahul. Firstly, I thank Jesus for this opportunity. It is a great honor, and on behalf of all of us at Ryan's, congratulations as we join you in celebrating Helsinki Day. Congratulations to Lifeology, Venture Village, and thank you for this invitation. Congratulations to Mr. Eric Hafstrom, Dr. Lisa, Praveen, Rahul, Mike, and all of you. It is a privilege also to see some of my peers. I see Padmaja and Howard, and they are all of them on this platform. So it is a joy to celebrate with them Helsinki Day, and I think it's the first we're doing actually. So commemorating 475 years since the founding of Helsinki, it is now a beacon of educational innovation, equity, like we heard, and well-being. And I'm just here to reflect a bit on really education between the two, culture and connection. And Helsinki is not just a city, having been there. It's just not a city with long history. It is a living story about, the delicate art of balancing the old and the new, the local and the global, the practical and the poetic. And although having founded 5 centuries ago, it's become a cradle of Finnish identity, a place where the hopes and dreams of people have taken shape and shifted tides of history. And there's something quietly inspiring about the journey of Helsinki. It reminds us that cities, like people, are shaped by their capacity to hold many things at once. Resilience and vulnerability, tradition and invention, solitude and community. And this duality is a part of what makes Helsinki so deeply meaningful, not only to the Finns, but to all of us who seek to understand how places shape us and how we in turn shape them. And like Helsinki and Finland, India too is a place of beautiful complexity. It is a land where ancient wisdom lives alongside youthful energy, where diversity is both a source of challenge and creativity. And though vastly different in scale, India and Helsinki share a commitment to embracing change without losing sight of what makes each one of us unique. And both remind us that progress is not a race to the future, but a thoughtful journey that honors the past. Now, at the heart of this shared vision is a gentle but a powerful idea, that is holistic education. It asks us to remember that education is not merely about imparting facts or preparing for careers, but it is about nurturing the whole being, mind, heart, character, values, spiritual, everything. It encourages curiosity paired with kindness, critical thinking blended with creativity, and knowledge balanced by empathy. And it is this commitment, it is this Helsinki's commitment to education which reminds us that learning should be a source of joy and belonging, a place where every child can discover their potential in a supportive community. And for us in India, this is a call to integrate tradition and innovation, and not just to educate for exams, but to enable our children thrive through the uncertainties of life, but also the many infinite possibilities. And this is where the real promise of the Indo-Finnish collaboration lies, not just in exchanging methods or technologies, but in sharing a vision for education as a human endeavor that transcends borders and boundaries. Together, we can explore new ways to train educators, develop learner centered pedagogy, and foster environments where young people can grow into thoughtful, humane citizens and leaders of the world. And as we celebrate Helsinki Day, let us cherish this moment of connection and reflection. Let us be reminded that education, like a city, is built slowly with care, patience, and the courage to imagine a better tomorrow. And as we go our separate ways after this event, I hope we'll remember that education is a journey shared by all humanity, one that lights the path to understanding, compassion, empathy, and infinite possibilities. May the bridges we build through learning stretch beyond the borders, connecting hearts and minds in a common hope for a better future and a world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here, and God bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much, Dr. Snehal. Snehal is leading and is the director of RAN International Group of Institutions. That's one of the most reputed, one of the foremost proponents of education. And thank you, to the entire RAN group and Dr. Snehal. And before Eric and Lisa goes, we would request the principals and the thought leaders here to have an interaction with them. Please feel free to ask more about Finland. Let's hear it from them itself so that we can learn new insights regarding education. The stage is here for the principals. We will have a principals roundtable next. Now it's an opportunity to interact with Eric and Lisa. And Lisa, thank you for your time. They were having other programs, but they were making time. Thank you, Lisa, for that extra effort. So any queries and questions to them? We have some eminent thought leaders from India, including Mr. Sir, who's a very senior educational leader. Thank you, Mr. Sir. We have people like Ajit Jacob Sir, Dr. Patnaja Ma'am, so Dr. Faisal Khan. So please feel free. Go ahead. The space is all yours. And Eric and Lisa will be able to know the nuances of Finland in a much deeper way.
Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you. And first of all, welcome from India. Namaskar to all of you from India. And Lisa ma'am, I want to ask what is the learning skills, basically what we are doing in the 21st century, and you are making one of the program. And that is a very marvelous programs for the entrepreneurship skill development. And we had interacted so many schools also with Rahul sir and Praveen sir, and even the Mecca also is also one of the part. I want to know how we can do it for a longer period of time with the skill development in the school teachers also, and how the teachers can be developed. Because when the teachers are developed, then the students will be also motivated for that. I require one support from the Indian, you can say Finland embassy. And first of all, celebrating this Finland's Helsinki June 12th. First of all, congratulations to all. And over to Lisa, ma'am. Kindly do something and tell us how we can associate and how we can improve the quality of the education in India also, and we also as a teachers can develop the skills. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you for the good question and raising also the entrepreneurship skills. As you said, it's an important issue also in Finland, and you might know that we start entrepreneur training already from first grade on. Little by little. It starts by every student participating the normal work of support stuff, like in the kitchen or dining hall and that type of things, and then it goes on over outside the school to families, and then to little by little to companies and so on. But your question mainly was how to teach teachers, and you are very right in that of course teachers who are now working, they should get some kind of courses during their working life to get all the new skills what are demanded nowadays. And what we have done from Finland is that our universities have provided teacher training either in Finland or here in India or over internet, of course. Distance learning is also quite effective, of course, depending on how we are doing it. If you think it needs to include like practicing and going through and discussing about those. So that kind of things we are doing, of course. And we have done it with private schools, but also with government schools. And the latest example is from Punjab government school teachers who are now there has been already like 150 teachers having this 2 or 3 week courses, and more is coming. So that is something which is very important to provide for teachers. But of course it can be also provided in short courses, because also in India you are providing teachers those very short courses, like 1 day or 2 days annually about new things what they should learn today. So there are lots of possibilities, and you are free to connect me at the embassy so I can put you into contact with the Finnish universities, because universities are providing the teacher training in Finland. So welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. This has been a question of many people, and Lifeology, for a context, Lifeology is partnering with CBSE, Government of India, to conduct National Guidance Festival for the past 3 years. We have also been working with various state governments across India, implementing their career and education project. We are very happy that we are doing the government of Dubai's Ishraq project, which is basically career and education for the Emiratis, for the residents of UAE. Now, Eric, the next question. Please go ahead, Eric. And Lisa, please go ahead. And your question, Eric. And then they have given us a great time of them. So please go ahead with your question.
Well, I can comment a little bit. Now when you are going to Finland, unfortunately, July, even though it is great time of the year, maybe the best season, but it's a summer holiday season, and unfortunately you can't visit any schools there, which would have been really interesting to interact with the Finnish school students.
And Lisa, I know we are going in many months, and we were asking the embassy, the same response we got. We are going to the embassy for the first batch, and for the other thing, we are also planning to take them to schools, and we are also having a cruise to the nearby nation so that they can have that Finland culture in a deeper way. And
Yeah.
that would be great. And Eric, if I can ask you a question regarding especially Finland education, do you plan to have, because many states across India, since we work with various state governments, look up to Finland model in a very deeper and meaningful way. India, as you know, is the most human resource rich nation in the world, and education is a thing that they give utmost importance to, especially the huge Indian middle class, which is more than the entire population of the United States, wants that education to be given in a good way. So, what are some of the better ways you can suggest us so that we can have a deeper, meaningful collaboration with Finland education so that we bring the best practices of Finland education customized to India?
Yes, it's important, of course, that all countries and all nations can learn from each other. We are willing to tell about the Finnish model, the best parts of it, but we are of course also listening to Indians and willing to take into consideration local circumstances. And it came to my mind that we have one school called Finland International School, which is located here in Racecourse, South Mumbai. And there they have teachers who are from Finland and one Indian teacher in the classroom all the time. So the teaching model, the everyday life in the classroom, is actually a compromise between Indian tradition and Finnish tradition. And one important feature in India is that that the parents are very ambitious with regard to their children. They often think that 5 to 6-year-olds should already have difficult academic subjects, where in Finland we concentrate on the learning and playing, and we think it's important that the small child learns to dance and to paint and to interact in a group before taking on more difficult academic subjects. And sometimes this has been also called the reason why Finnish students are so good, motivated already later on. So that we don't overload the small child with academic subjects. And this is maybe one principle that you could think of having here in India as well. But luckily we have such a capacity as Lisa ma'am there in Delhi, and she covers all India with regard to education and science. And we here at the Consulate General, we of course also can contribute it, but we are more generalists. We are not experts on the subject as Lisa is, but we are willing, if we are invited, to come anywhere and tell about the basic features of the Finnish model. And while willing to do so, we always have to remember that we don't push forward our model. It's not anything that can be applied as such in all places. It's important at the same way also to respect local circumstances in all places of the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eric, for that. And now, I hope we can move to the principals roundtable where we have eminent principals from the India and Middle East so that we can interact with them over 2 topics. We'll have a quick roundtable with them.
Rahul,
Yeah.
sorry, I think Dr. Lisa wanted to add something.
Sorry, Lisa, sorry. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to add to Eric's comment that of course we do have conversations between Indian and Finnish governments concerning education development, and I hope that it's going forward. And through that, of course, some joint elements or discussions, as Eric said, that it's not so straightforward. You can't adapt our system and we can't adapt yours, but we do have discussions and dialogue between the governments as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, with your permission, can we move on to the principals roundtable, where we discuss 2 topics with the eminent principals. The topics are beyond borders, Discovering Shared Educational Values and Opportunities Between India and Finland. That's the first roundtable. The second is Awaiting Helsinki, Hopes, Expectations, and Curiosities. The first one panel is joined by, we have some eminent principals, and we have also people joining from there. We have only joining from Finland, and we have people celebrate people like Shamir joining from Finland. We are expecting them to. So we have our first principals roundtable. Can we go to the panel, please? If you are, yeah. So I would request our panel principals Ramneek Batra, Ms. Ramneek Batra, Ms. Rupa Chakravarti, Dr. Howard Jean, Dr. Sri Ajit Jacob, Dr. Padmaja Askuti. We will have a roundtable with you, with starting your initial comments. Ramneek Batra, ma'am, I hope we can start with you.
Absolutely. A very good morning to all of you. I think it's been wonderful to hear all top personalities talk about their views on education. Today, I say I'm extremely proud to be an Indian, where we finally, our government has decided to move ahead with the NEP, the National Education Policy, which is so much in line and sync with, today when we're talking about the Finnish way of education, which is known worldwide. I represent a Swedish school, which is Kunskapsskolan, and that is completely aligned to whatever everybody spoke about, and it was almost like what I had in my mouth or my mind was all being spoken out. So yeah, I am really looking forward to a lot more takeaways and hope to have a far superior collaboration.
Howard Gee, sir, your initial comments, please.
Hyvä Helsinki päivä. Lovely to be with you. I think it's very, very exciting to listen to different ideas. It's always the synergy of ideas from different places brings together new findings. So obviously what we're not looking for is a shift of India into a Finnish way, but rather perhaps a new Indian way that is informed by Finland. I think there's been a lot of very positive things going on over the past 10 to 15 years in Indian education. Clearly, a lot of what Lisa was talking about is values which are shared by a lot of the international curricula that are taught throughout India now, not just in the main cities, but also many tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We can't expect things to change overnight, and it is just continuing these many conversations that are shifting the Overton window, if you like, in the direction of an education that will serve young people in India far better.
Dr. Padmaja?
Good morning to one and all present here. It's great to be a part of this esteemed panel, and great to see you, Dr. Snehal. And thank you, Eric and Lisa, for such a wonderful morning, enriching ourselves with all the experiences that you have shared with us. And thank you, Mike and Ishwar, for making us a part of this. Thank you, Lifeology, and happy Helsinki celebrations to one and all present here. A warm welcome to everybody on the panel who is here. We all know that education is the foundation of a thriving society, and it's very important that we keep on innovating and evolving our approaches, because we are bringing in an entire generation in the classroom. We are bringing them up and sending them to society, and they will make the beautiful world that we all aspire to live in. So it's great that we as educators can share insights that will help develop all the 5 C's that we talk about: communication, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and above all, character. So looking forward to more discussions, and I'm sure it's going to be a morning well spent. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And now we have Rupa Chakravarti, ma'am. She's a very senior principal. She's the director of Sun City Schools, Gurgaon.
Good morning, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be in this August gathering. Um, I just am reminded of this little story that I read, which said that a blind man asked God that what could be worse than being blind? And God said, not having a vision. What we understand today, that Finland has a vision due to which we are here today to celebrate this Helsinki Day. The Consul General, thank you so very much. Madam Lisa, Praveen, all of you who are here today envisioning a future, because we as teachers touch the future. We have nobody else to blame to that extent, but we as teachers have to understand that we touch the future. And as we speak later, I would like to touch upon the points that Madam Lisa said, because she rightly said that they teach the way they learn. And there's a famous saying which goes, if I can't learn the way you teach me the way I learn. And I think that is the premise on which we need to make this world a better place by making sure that they come happily to school, and the happiness quotient is so very, very important. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. We will definitely have a round of questions to you all so that we can learn from them. Now we have Ajit Jacob, sir. He's the resident principal of Doon International School, Riverside Campus, Dehradun. Ajit, sir, please.
Warm good morning to everyone. I hope you can hear me. Uh, my greetings to my fellow panelists, and it's an honor to be sharing this forum with eminent people from Finland and as well as from India and UAE. At the outset, let me wish a lovely day, Helsinki Day, to all from Finland and all of us together to understand the value of the city and what it stands for, along with the country Finland. I believe a global symbol for innovation, equity, and educational excellence. And here in India, we are striving for that lovely excellence in education. And as conveyed by the fellow panelists here in the initial comments, and also by Dr. Lisa and Ms. Eric, there's a lot for us to collaborate with. I go by this notion that education happens through conversations. We're having a lovely conversation this morning, and I'm sure it's going to be enriched further. And these conversations should be there in all schools for a better understanding as we talk about the 21st century skills. We talk about the curriculum 2030 that is there with lifeology. We are looking at the NEP 2020 from India. Lots of ideas that we could work with. Lovely questions that came by. How we could train our teachers as well on how to go about enriching our educational program in India. Collaborating with Finland, answered very aptly by the eminent personalities here, Dr. Lisa and Mr. Eric. We look forward to further conversations. I was quite enthused by the line also that was put there, 400, hundreds of years of SISU, SISU, something that is very dear to Finland, and it echoes with our own aspects of living here in India and in education as well. How to survive correctly and how to navigate in this ever evolving and a fast changing world. So it will be the core attitude towards education, the philosophy of striving beyond our limitations, beyond our circumstances, and see how we could respect the past and welcome the future by acting well in the present. So I wish the forum the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajit, sir. Next, we would like to raise a question so that we can deliberate and understand and take it forward in a better way. Now, as also partner of various governments, we have been faced with this question that NEP 2020 is a landmark initiative by the Indian government taking our education to next level. And as many of the people earlier mentioned, NEP has great inspiration and positive aspects and similarities with the Finland education. So as principals and educational leaders, what are the things that we can implement NEP in a better way, and how we can collaborate and take the best of Finland's education customized to our needs? Of course, the two nations have their own diversities, whereas Finland's population is very manageable. Our population is, as we all know, is we are the largest human resource rich nation in the world. So connecting NEP and Finland education, how can we better our education is a question that we would request all the eminent principals to put forward their thoughts, starting with Remnik ma'am.
Hi, thank you, Rahul. So, if you look at the way Finland and India work, couple of things that stand out where we see we are very much in sync is both nations are talking about a holistic development. So we've moved away actually from a rote learning concept where it was just knowledge and understanding and just rote learning to looking at a child who is future ready. We keep talking about the 21st century skills, but actually these skills came in 2 years ago itself. So when you focus around the future skills that are necessary for a 2030, you are factoring collaboration, you are looking into communication, you are focusing around skill development, you're focusing around analyzing. So yes, AI is taking over. A lot of work will be done. You will have data being presented maybe through AI, but you still need people who are going to sit down and analyze that data. So you continue to look at developing those skill sets. I heard Dr. Lisa talk about fostering creativity, and I loved it. We keep saying creativity is important, but how many of us as educators provide platforms to our students to become risk takers? How many of us are actually flexible where we say there's nothing right or wrong about how they do it? We have to give them a structure within the school, yet give them the flexibility to work within the structure. When they come into a school setup, yes, you have a room where you can begin the day, but isn't the entire school a place where they learn? So, giving them that openness, the opportunity, looking at multidisciplinary approach, which even NEP has brought in beautifully. So I think, yes, creativity becomes one aspect. Holistic development, as I said, is one common area. We talk about student development, but that student development actually begins from a teacher's professional development. It's the teacher who walks into a class and makes the difference. So I think focusing a lot more on the professional development of a teacher, and I'm glad, again, both nations are looking at investing so much more towards professional development. Even NEP, when you look at it, is talking about 50 hours, a mandate of 50 hours per year for a teacher's professional development. I think that's an area where both the nations can come together, and we can definitely look at a lot more collaboration where the pedagogical approach within a classroom is strengthened. Majority of the schools still talk about what is it that I'm going to go into a class and teach versus what is it that my student is going to learn when I walk into a class. So the difference between what I teach to what my students learn will only come through a shift in the approach in classrooms. And I think best way is when we look at the two nations collaborating for a teacher professional development program. There's a lot more focus on digital technology. How do you want to use technology? Again, I think coming up with platforms which can be used for not just professional development of teachers, but you can also begin with small research project-based spaces for our students to collaborate between both the nations. So two of these things that come out very clearly for me are collaboration for students when it comes to research projects, and definitely looking at teacher professional development.
Thank you, Remnik ma'am. And this is one area we are collaborating with the University of Helsinki too. I know University of Helsinki, Lifeology, our curriculum 2030 is envisioning this teacher enhancement program, as they call it, in a deeper way. And Dr. Howard Gieser, being the principal of DSP International School, Mumbai, and one of the top schools in India, how do you view this NEP 2020 in India and a global collaboration possibility?
So I think basically we just need to incentivize change. And to be quite honest, nothing is going to change until the outcome at the end of a child's education has changed. So I actually think that the model that you have with Lifeology is highly scalable. It is cost effective, and state boards and national boards perhaps are compelled to incorporate some skills training as a requirement for a child to pass out of their 10th or 12th standard. Because until you do that, you're not going to get any change. If we're honest about it, there are IB teachers across the country who, despite the training and everything else, continue to deliver a very, very traditional teaching methodology. So it has to be incentivized. It has to be impossible to get your board exams, to get your pass out, unless you have done some skills training. And I think that the wonderful thing that has been created between Helsinki University and yourselves at Lifeology is something which is scalable and affordable within an Indian context. Sorry. Very quickly, because I don't want to talk for too long. The other thing that is absolutely a non-negotiable, as far as I'm concerned, is that we stop having exams in teacher training colleges, and that it goes to portfolio education. This is not something which is modern. This is something which I would imagine is pretty well universal in Europe. I became a teacher 30 years ago. I didn't do a single exam for teaching. I've no doubt that the Helsinki, despite the fact that they require extremely high levels of qualification to even enter into a classroom, I'm sure that they do it all through portfolio and other forms of evidence-based learning. And evidence-based learning is not expensive. So I would go with those as my two potential fixes to start things moving quickly. Because if we just wait for cultural change through some sort of diffusion of understanding, we will miss the opportunity we have at the moment. Because of course there's only 25 years or so before India starts to lose out to the next sort of youth availability from Africa.
Thank you, Howard sir. We usually Indians, we are not that straightforward in shooting these things, and thank you for putting this in perspective. Our demographic dividend, as we all know, is going to change in the next 2 decades or 3 decades. That's a hard fact that can't be changed. So thank you for being upfront. Dr. Patmaja ma'am, being the principal of Maina Devi Bajaj International Schools, one of the most foremost in the field of education, how would you envision, especially Indian education, going to the next level? Incorporating the best practices around the world is a challenge for us. So as a principal and a thought leader, how would you address it?
Yeah, thank you, Rahul, for the question. And I also acknowledge the presence of Praveen from Lifeology. I missed you in the earlier conversation. So the school that I belong to, Maina Devi Bajaj International School, is a school which caters to a boutique learning experience, which is very new to the world of education. So we just have one class across nursery to A levels. We are a K-12 school. So what becomes very important for us is to manage the children and make them equally competitive and enhance their competence. Because we believe in enhancing the competence of students rather than making them compete with each other. You compete with your own self and enhance your competence. So when we talk about sharing best practices, I think NEP stands true to the old adage that says that tell me and I may forget, teach me and I may remember, but involve me and I shall surely understand and learn. So the best practice that can happen in classrooms is enhancing the learning process to bring out the 5 C's that I spoke about earlier. That is creativity, collaboration, communication, competition, collaboration, and enhancing the character of a person. So I would like to share two best practices that we did, because I always feel that when we gather, there has to be some learning that we take away. So, a very typical learning process that we would generally have in our history and geography would be to teach the way it is in textbooks. But as a school, since we are very progressive and we want to create learners who can think differently, what we did is we took up a concept called natural disasters, which from grades 1 to 5, all the children had to learn. So we brought them all together. So this entire thought process that if you have only 30 children in one class and you do not have more people to interact with, we broke and busted that myth. So we had students across grades to 5 standing in front of parents and presenting an area of inquiry topic like natural disasters, where we integrated history, geography, architecture, art, natural phenomena, and children even connected it to agriculture, and they presented the whole model through interactive 3D models. So there was project making that was involved. There were data rich charts through which the children explained, and the entire event left the parents asking for more. In fact, we learned so much from the children when they spoke about the various natural disasters that happened across the world, not restricting ourselves only to India. So this whole practice of involving the children in every aspect that we do. And I was glad when Mr. Howard said that we should stop examinations. So this became like a part of their assessment where their learning and participation was assessed on. So the entire shift from writing to presenting yourselves to enhance your skills was what was focused on. The next one quickly I would like to say was a lower secondary, since we are a Cambridge school, the lower secondary topic on shapes in mathematics, because mathematics is a subject where children generally want to run away from in India, in our country, but we want to make it interesting. So we collaborate, the principal and the teacher collaborates to do a team teaching process in the classroom. So we introduce shapes through a video which talks about 2D and 3D movies, bringing in the concept of dimensions of shapes to the children. Then we divide them depending on the shapes that they have chosen. So we have a game which is very interactive, and children then get divided into groups unintentionally, knowing that they are actually into groups. And then they take down all the lessons or skills of mathematics and logic that have to be done when they practice their sums. And we integrate it with a project making activity of creating a diorama based on shapes. So the children went all around the school and picked up the best of what they can collect, materials from the school, and they created a diorama where they made an entire city with a metro, a hospital, a school, just with the help of the shapes that they had learned. So this entire diorama was presented by children, the lower secondary students, the grade 8 students, and we culminated it with a parent of the primary who was an architect who came into the classroom and spoke about how shapes can help and has relevance to life, because when you look at a building architecturally it would look good, but the importance of the knowledge of shapes is very, very pivotal in making that building, and why there has to be a swimming pool on the terrace of a building, and why is it that Burj Khalifa has its structure made in such a way that it can withstand the highest earthquake. So there was so much integration and culmination of knowledge that the children were left asking for more and more in mathematics, and they just wanted to have every subject dealt in the way this was done in the classroom. So these are just two best practices that are shared. We have lots and lots more right across the toddlers that come and are interested in our care, because we at MBIS believe that we are creating a generation that needs to be empowered, and like Ms. Rupa Chakravarti rightly said, children who will have a vision. And so when they come into their A levels, we do job shadowing for them. We help them in job shadowing, which is internship, so that they know what are the real life challenges and they can emerge as human beings who develop themselves into thinking individuals.
Thank you, Dr. Padmaja.
Thank you so much.
And Rupa ma'am, we had a great experience to all the people. When we went there, we saw that multiple intelligence lab. That was something very fascinating. Multiple intelligence framework is accepted around the world, but it was personally my first time that I saw something like a multiple intelligence lab. So your insight and also something regarding the lab, which we believe is a great model.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for those kind words. It motivates me. I would like to begin on the premise of one word, curiosity. Einstein rightly said it is a miracle, and everybody should note this word miracle, that curiosity survives formal education. So, what happens is when we are educating, we kill the nascent point that actually makes a child a lifelong learner. And that should be the objective of education, to make every child a lifelong learner. And that is called heutagogy. And then what happens is that you don't have to teach the child ever again. And when you create an ambience in the school of this kind of lifelong learning, then with case studies, the children, or situational learning, the children develop their critical thinking, which leads to creativity. We have to make sure that we know the steps that will lead to something. So the first thing I would like to talk about is curiosity, and that's where the multiple intelligence comes from, because we do integrated subject teaching. In 2012, I know that Finland was first in numeracy, in literacy, and every kind of learning when the test was taken. And I think they could achieve that because they had created an ambience of learning. And I'll give you two examples taking from Lisa. I remember when I landed in Helsinki last year, she talked about nature, and I walked into the toilet in the airport and the birds were chirping around in the toilet. So they had created an ambience of nature in the toilets to give you that soothing, calming effect, right? So are we doing enough to enhance the curiosity? Second, when I visited University of Helsinki, I remember that they have started a school with the university so that they can have a continuity of the learning from school, and the transition to tertiary becomes very effective. And what they did was, in the lunchtime, they were playing, making the students who were good in singing go up on stage and play either a band and sing, or just sing. That was such a beautiful way of highlighting the effectiveness of their learning and their talents. So I think that is beautiful and we need to learn from it. And the multiple intelligences that we imbue within our learning is everywhere, including our way of revision is having the parents sit in the class as students and the children learn from them. Our way of doing certain best practices, and I say our way because I know Finland has taught me a lot when I was there last year. Our way of also taking the best practices, and I quickly want to tell about this one best practice which was mind blowing. And lastly, I'll end with one practice that we are starting from this session. They had the coiffure, the hairstylist, where I visited a vocational school in Helsinki. So now everybody may be doing that. Some schools in India are also doing that. But what was mind boggling was that they had taken the products from, the shampoo, the conditioner, the spray, etc., from various companies, and they were trying to analyze what was the content and then the pricing. That did the content or what chemicals were used and the pricing actually match. This was absolutely amazing. We need to start thinking beyond a certain things that we are structured into and we have blinkers on thinking. And I said, what a beautiful way of collecting data and doing. And this had motivated me. And what we are planning to do is all schools make these bridges. And what we are planning to do is, and we're starting to already do the pilot project, to put a weight on those bridges and show the children, will it sustain? So if there are groups of 10 children making those bridges, then we will put a weight, let's say those dumbbells on it, and show them, will it sustain the weight? And then do a simulation with earthquakes to show them whether, if there is an earthquake, their bridges will be able to take that earthquake. So I think these are the ways that we need to learn. So I would love to share more, but I know there's a paucity of time. And thank you, Rahul.
Thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. Thank you for those insightful words. And we have Ajit sir, and Ajit sir had a great experience in leading some of the top schools in India, including the Good Shepherd, Ooty, the Choice School, the Dune International. And Eric, on a lighter note, we Indians, that describe schools and colleges in movies too. So there is a very famous movie called Shah from Shah Rukh Khan, India's Tom Cruise or top star, called Mohabbatein. So I first went to meet Ajit sir. So I saw Ajit sir standing with some of the students looking up to him. So I suddenly remembered Amitabh in Mohabbatein, where he was the enforcer of discipline. He was the person who was tutoring them. I met him around a late evening time. Ajit sir, it was very happy to see you mentoring those students in a good way. So Ajit sir, your insights.
Thank you, Rahul, and also let me express my thanks to Ms. Micah and Mr. Praveen Aspel from Lifeology, and for this opportunity, and lovely to hear the panelists with the inputs shared here. I would just reflect briefly upon what Dr. Snehal had mentioned a little while ago, the joy of learning. You had posed the question about NEP 2020 and its relevance and its connection with Finland. Uh, Learning has to be joyful at the end of the day. It has to make a person happy. It should not be stressful. And that is firmly reflected upon the NEP. The NEP 2020, the details there, what all that has been put across. It's student centered, and we need to have a happy society. We need to have our students who are equipped, and for us to be equipped, definitely the skills have to come into play. As earlier mentioned, we have shifted from rote learning to something that is, uh, engaging and participative, involved, so that the learning is really etched into the mindset of the child. As well as for the teacher, it's always growth that we need to focus upon. 14 years of schooling has to come with a great value at the end of the day, and not looking back and regretting those years spent in school. It was good to hear, I think, Ms. Rupa, you talking about the connection with the tertiary education also. How do we link colleges with the schools is important. It's just not a wall there, and for them to crack through the wall and suddenly say that I'm in college, what next for me? That bridging has to be important, and lifeology also is into this whole aspect of career guidance and pathways. I believe once we have the connections made correctly with experts within the parent community, people who are professionals in various fields, come into play along with teachers to guide the children, it would be great. I was quite excited when Dr. Lisa mentioned about skills development from class one onwards, aspects of uh, doing kitchen work. Here in schools, through education, there has to be a cultural shift, I should say, from what holds us back to something that makes us blossom well. So that requires courage. It requires conviction. It requires people to come on board and say, "Hey, what we do now may not be something great in the long term. We have to make changes." I was just also looking up the World Economic Forum details on the educational framework, which talks about adaptability, problem solving, collaboration, problem solving with curiosity to understand, why is that problem there? How can we address it? How can we come together and resolve matters? and definitely how to engage ourselves in this ever-changing world, with the adaptability factor. So these are things that we need to work on from a young age, and definitely the entrepreneurship skills, the entrepreneurial skills also, as said, from a young age being taught in Finland. It's also being adopted here in India in a small way, but good to know that it is from grade one onwards. It doesn't wait till college. So I'm sure with all of us coming together, with more conversations, I think we'll have a whole lot more ideas that we could incorporate in our own schools. And it's exciting to work with children and give them as we say, the wings to fly, and not to cut their wings, but to grow their wings so that they are equipped for the future. I mean, these are my brief takes, and of course, respect the child. Even though they are young, the respect level has to be there. We respect the child, the learner, and in turn, the learner respects the teacher. And we have a great format of the Gurukul system, the guru and the child, always looking forward for the child to be the best. And one day, be brilliant, more brilliant than the teacher, let us say, let's face the fact, and that's our happiness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ajit sir. And one more input. Lifeology is closely collaborating with Harvard Management and Harvard University's initiative. And we have been regular with the Harvard Flourishing Study, whereas Harvard University right now is bringing forth a study which says one of the core objective is flourishing. And we have contributed from our own humble part to Harvard Human Flourishing Study, which is also something that we should definitely deliberate about. And we are moving into the next round. Our panel is also ready, but we will have a quick 30-second concluding remarks from each of our panelists so that we can move to the next round. Any concluding words from the present principals? Please feel free. Ma'am, please feel free. Padmaja ma'am, Ruba ma'am, your quick concluding 30-second remarks so that we can wind this first principals roundtable and go to the next one.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, please feel free. Please feel free.
One of the successes in Finland is that they teach in Finnish. I think we need a radical reconsideration of the language that we deliver education in, because we cannot get high-level conceptual understanding and development into children who do not speak very good English from adults that do not speak very good English. There must be a massive pushback on English medium education in this country if we're to move it forward quickly.
Please go ahead with your concluding remarks. Our principals, Ramnik ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am.
So, when I hear all the best practices in our schools, specifically in India, it gives me immense pleasure, because while we may say that the NEP has just got rolled out 2 years ago, but you actually see lots of these sprinklers in every school when it comes to the pedagogical approach. So I know for a fact we're all on the right path. It's just that we have to meet more often to take the best practices forward.
I think I would like to end with sustainability, because we have only one Earth. We have nowhere else to go. The sooner we realize that, the better it'll be for us. And like they say, we have only borrowed it from our children, not inherited it. So let us remember to sustain this world and sustain the thoughts and the actions of every human being to keep our Earth safe. Thank you, Lifeology, for this exposure and this experience.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Padmaja?
Since we've all come to a common conclusion that we are educators and education is what's going to change the world, let's give wings to our children's dreams and make them empowered individuals to live on an earth that we are blessed with and achieve sustainable goals to make this place a better place to live in. Thank you so much, Lifeology, Mike, and everybody at Finland and India. I think these conversations should continue so that we can make a difference.
Ajit sir?
Right. There was that pertinent aspect of language also. Definitely, languages have to be celebrated. We are quite culturally rich with our languages in India, and definitely that is being exhibited as part of the NEP 2020. I would just highlight one point here. Change making can be done through children, definitely, once we equip them and give the platform for their voices to be heard. I would say that the whole aspect of negativity and corruption could be handled when we have schools connecting with government organizations and private organizations with questions coming from children out of their curiosity for right purposes that will make adults think in a different way and understand that adults have a responsibility towards children in their actions, thoughts, and vision, I should say. So let's make our children vocal. Let's give the platform for their voices to be heard and for their questions to be posed, no matter who it is, so that we are accountable with the responsibility that we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the panel, and we also thank all the people who are staying and listening to, especially people like very busy people like Eric and Lisa. Thank you for listening to our words. And next we have our next principals roundtable. We thank all your presence. Dr. Snehal was also patiently imbibing all the spirits and points. Next, our principals roundtable, we are having Reverend Father Melvin Anil Lobo, Dr. Namita Singhal, Mr. M.S. Faisal Khan, Adil Asiti. We are having Shamir Kandatil. We are having Chris Goodborn, and we are having Dr. C.B. Misra. So if you can please have the panel, that would be great. Reverend Father Melvin Anil Lobo is the principal of St. Joseph's Schools, Bangalore. Dr. Namita Singh is the principal of Venkateshwar Global School, Delhi. M.S. Faisal Khan is the managing director of Nurul Islam Institute of Medical Science and Research Foundation, NIMS and Niche. Adil is a board member of Deyapuram Educational and Cultural Central, Kerala, and he is the founder CEO academics of Habitat Schools, UAE. Chris Goodburn is the director of Gems for Life, Gems Education, UAE. Shamir Kandatil is a social leader who is also a vocal policy maker and has done many interventions. He's from Finland. Dr. C.B. Misra, as we noted earlier, the very senior educationist, director and principal, Prudent School, Delhi. So can we have them on the screen, please? Thank you so much. Now, can we start with Dr. Namita? Dr. Namita is here. Namita, ma'am, your reflections about the program and how better we can collaborate and learn the best practices, especially understanding from Helsinki and Finland. Your vision, your understanding, your expectations. Please go ahead.
So first of all, my greetings to all the people gathered here in today's discussion, and a very happy Helsinki Day celebration to all of you. About the program, I think it has been very, very creatively curated, and it has a blend of culture. It has a blend of obviously the learning sessions, very carefully designed by the experts from Helsinki University. It has, an element of, knowing about the place, discovering about the city. My students are really looking forward to be a part of the program. And this is going to be our first experience. We are going to Finland for the first time. So, we look forward to getting a better exposure and understanding of the Finland way of education that we have been talking about for more than 1.5 hours. So yes, there is a lot that we have always heard, that our governments are also collaborating at multiple levels, and I'm sure that we have a lot to learn from the Finnish model of education. But I'm really excited. My students are also very excited to have a first-hand experience, in Finland. So we are looking forward to that discovery and that experience.
Thank you so much, Namta ma'am and Mr. Sir. We had a great experience, especially Mike. That was, it was the first Holi of Mike in India where we could celebrate with Mr. Sir. And Mr. Sir, am I audible? I think there are some technical issues, including Chris is also trying to join. I think we will connect to him. I think Shamir, we will go to Shamir and come back. Yeah. Shamir, am I audible to you?
Yes, very
Shamir
well.
is joining to us from Finland. Shamir, your interview with the Prime Minister of Finland was very well received, and I was very mesmerized when you were talking deep. So, can you just share some insights about the interview? And being an Indian in Finland, what was your experience there, and what can we look forward and learn from there?
Yeah, actually, maybe I can just introduce about me. I'm Shamir Kandatil. I'm basically from Calicut city, a remote village called Kodolli. So if you ask me, the migration from Kodolli to Finland, even though if I walk through the city, the street, I can see a number of peoples. When I came 17 years ago, I cannot see any people even in the Helsinki downtown where I was lived. So that was a big transformation when I came here. And then yes, my kids, all three kids studied here in Espoo International School, and as everybody mentioned, they are having a very good entrepreneurial skill, and they are part of the business already, even though they're 18 and 19, and they are taking the critical responsibility of the job, especially my son doing the custom clearance and reporting all those kind of things. And I'm sure he will be able to do that part only as a business opportunity for him in the future, even he is not finding a job. That's one thing. And about the apart from that, I was working in the Nokia, and then I started a business where the green chili was 30 euro that time. So I found an opportunity that we need to have a fresh vegetable, then growing population coming. So I saw the opportunities, and now we are the one of the leading fresh vegetable importer. And after that, I started or being part of this making this Finland Malayali Association, and Unnikrishnan Kurup also in the panelist, and we made this Finland Malayali Association. Currently, I'm the chairman of the Malayali Association, and then after that, we connected all Indian community, and in India Day, one of the biggest event, that is also we initiated. Finland Malayali Association initiated that one. And then I am part of the politics in Finland, actively working in the politics and Kokoomus party, the current ruling party, and I was 2 times I was a candidate. Even though I'm not get elected, but it is a wish, it is a pathway to the young generation coming up, and I'm sure we will have our next generation will be in MPs and other part, so that we are just giving a path to them. And then regarding the Prime Minister interview, actually we have issues going on, like being a immigrant, 3 months after 3 months, if you unemployed, there is a highly chances that you may get deported and this sort of things. So I highlighted that issues, and still it's going on. It's a pilot version right now. I'm sure we can able to fix, and we had a detailed meeting last week in the embassy of India about this same topic. And for Indian immigrant, mostly in IT and etc., for them it's a 6 month, and then there is another things also, which later we can explain in detail. And this is all things which we are doing. And when the people comes to the to Finland, most of the students are coming to me for the job and etc., because we are having a small little bit shops here. So there is a little bit challenge, and if you have more question related to that one, of course we can able to explain you. And connecting with the other businesses in Finland, and if you have any questions, of course you can contact Rahul, and of course you can contact, and we can make a networking here, and I'm working on that kind of
Definitely.
thing.
And Shamir, we would also love to know more regarding especially your children's education and your daughter's work. I know that was very good. And we will go to Adil now. Adil, yes. Adil, yes. Adil, please go ahead with your insights, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rahul. First of all, I'm happy to be here, a part of joining this celebrating Helsinki Day. And thanks to Praveen and Mike for making this possible. Actually, I just reached office just in time. I was traveling from Dubai, just completed my visa formalities, and then I'm back now and happy to be on time. And I was also listening to the previous roundtable discussions that was happening while I was traveling. So as I represent, I come from Kerala, and the Aviram Educational Cultural Center, which hosts one CBSE school as well as Arts and Science College of Women, which is a charitable organization where we provide free education for orphans and destitutes from all communities, which is an invisible orphanage, which is a concept uh, built on values of inclusivism, uh, open to all communities, and basically the idea of India. So now what makes me more happier is that our students are also participating in this international boot camp, which is happening in July. So before that, they have already experienced some glimpses of Finland. I mean, because we already organized the first boot camp based on curriculum 2030 in Kerala, which happened in the Avaram Residential School, where our students have already experienced and the what is going to happen in when they are traveling to Finland. So all the feedback which have come from the students and as well as from the parents, they all wanted to continue with such 2030 curriculum, which is very futuristic and future focused learning experience. What makes this more special for us is that this helps our students to equip them with the right set or right kind of attitude, skills, and it provides a vision for them, a future vision for the future, and which also will help them to transform to be future ready. As we all know, with technology, with AI, there's a lot of things are getting transformed. Many of our jobs that we see today may not be there after 5 or by 2030. So the Abram is one of school in Kerala which adapts or which accepts these changes at the beginning itself. I'm happy to mention that in India, this was the first school to integrate programming, coding into the school curriculum in 2017. And also, I also represent Habitat Schools in UAE. This was a school which integrated coding and programming from 2014 onwards. So, one point which I would like to share, or a thought which I would like to share after experiencing this boot camp which happened in Kerala, for the first time in Kerala, we were thinking, so the students were getting a global exposure through certified trainers from Helsinki University. But I was also thinking, why don't we create a set of international trainers, certified trainers, where all the schools can send or make it mandatory? I can think of a system for making it mandatory for all the teachers to get certified for this. Otherwise, all what we have been seeing in the school education sector is now slowly the shift is there from concept-based learning or rote learning. Now there is a shift to skill-based learning. It is there already. Even CBSE have made many changes with NEP and all. But still, when the students are, of course, very curious, that's what this curiosity shouldn't be killed or stopped when we don't have teachers with this kind of attitudes, learning attitudes and skills. So one aspect where we face a challenge is in creating an educational system where we can create future ready teachers as well, so that this can be integrated in schools, in all schools in India. This is just a thought sharing for discussion. Yeah.
Definitely, Adil. And I know CBSE in their National Guidance Festival was inviting regarding this Finland program, and we were coordinating. we had two experts from Finland also participating along with Mike, so that what are the best practices that we can take even in a government level. They are taking it that seriously. And we have Reverend Father Melvin. Melvin sir, if I'm audible to you, and Mr. Ajay, if I can audible to you, there are some technical glitches that I couldn't get back. Yes. Reverend Father Melvin Dobo, sir, their school has taken students to Italy. They have had, such kind of educational trips. So how does this global exposure help them? Many schools, especially the tier 2 cities, are also thinking about such trips in a meaningful way to various destinations. So how do you feel and how do you conceive your initial remark and also your inputs to this, sir?
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul. Am I audible? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me for this celebration as well as online conference. And I was happy to listen to all the speakers as well as panelists, and it has been a wonderful sharing from everyone. And first of all, I would like to really appreciate the Finland education system and the way things are delivered for its citizens as well as to the students, being at the top of the uh, uh, education system and free education. That is something very wonderful to hear. And the entire system is public enterprise, which is not in India, and it's great to hear. It's uh, quite decentralized. Coming to our own exchange program, I had taken a group of students to Italy, Milan, Lione 13 school, and it was again a 7-day trip. As you are planning a 7-day trip for to Finland, again this was the school had a collaboration with that Lione 13 school in Milan. So just takeaway of that learning. First of all, it was I belong to a religious congregation. As you know, I'm a Catholic priest and belonging to Jesuit order, and Jesuits are known for education. Last 500 years, we are into education, and we have number of institutions in India as well as abroad. And Leone 13 School is a Jesuit school, has got a lot of long history. And we had been in collaboration online last 15 years, and only after 2 years back they invited us to come there, and they also wanted to come to our school. So it took place, and their students came to our school, and we went there, and our students could go to the students' houses, visit them, and so also the students sat in the classrooms and interacted as the classes were going on. They too asked questions and so on. So, and they visited the labs and various facilities. So also they went round. So it was both blending learning as well as sightseeing. Both were combined, and it was well accomplished. And I see a similar program being designed by you, and what I see is a well curated, the timetable or various topics being planned. So I think it will be a wonderful experience. So similar to the one which we had with the Milan school. So wonderful, and I look forward to to have more conversation and see how we could take it forward to our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Melvin sir. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Sir, Mr. Aji, am I audible? Yeah, please go ahead. Please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And first of all, Raulji, thank you. I think this is a very good time we are going to initiate, first of all, as a group of students school. We will think that we have already having the entrepreneurship, but we had a tie-up with the Raulji, Lifeology also, and we are learning something from there. And I hope that this is the system and this is the platform where we can learn something. And we had talked a very long time with the Micah also in Delhi. CBSE is also doing the same part. That's why CBSE also taking the initiative with the Lifeology to coordinate and do something in the favorism. So I hope this is a time where we can do something creative things. And Lifeology is already the skill developer. He engaged the students. 5 years are there. They are engaging the students. They are exploring them. They are explaining also, elaborating the system also, evaluating the system also, and the 7 day programs they are doing with the University of Program. That is also one. That's why I had asked this question: how entrepreneurship skills are there? As per the national education policy, we are going to create the entrepreneurship skills development in the mindset of the teachers also, the management also, as well as the students also. And for that purpose, we request all the members ki, when we are going to create a curriculum, and especially the team of Livelogy and the Finland team. So when we are going to make this type of system, we are supposed to create that type of technology or the system or the curriculum, the pedagogies where they learn something about the teaching learning process through the entrepreneurship. They learn, they clear the concept and how the concept can be converted into the profitability in their daily life. That is more important. And this is a very good time where we are interacting on the online. This is also the time. Coding, artificial intelligence, machine learning. These are the subjects which is coming with the you can say at the lower level of the classes, where aptitude is supposed to be created. Only learn and teaching the coding is not the part. How the coding is to be generated for the future data analytical is one of the important part. So analyzing part is for the grade third onward. So I request the curriculum committee either from the Finland or from the CBSC also. We are doing the same thing here also. How we can create something a curriculum for the lower level teachers so that they can create the attitude of coding and artificial intelligence, how the data analytical skills they can do. And I am very grateful and thankful to the Rahulji and other team members of the Pravinji. We had celebrated the Holi on the, I think we had remembered that Holi also. And that Holi, just like the festival we had celebrated, we think that the colorful should be again and again with the Finland. And this type of festival should be there. Thank you and thank you to all.
Definitely, Mr. Sir. And as Eric and Ambassador was telling me, cricket, yoga, and biryani is becoming popular in Finland. Maybe we can have one Holi in Finland too, where Holi and happiness can come together. Since we are coming to the end of the time, we have issue with Chris. Chris is in UAE. He couldn't join. Maybe we will have a quick word from Faisal Khan sir. Shajan sir is there. He's a pro VC. Faisal Khan sir is also on the way. A quick word from Shajan sir to please go ahead, sir.
Hi, sir. I'm Dr. Shajin, Pro Vice Chancellor, Academics of Noor Hassan Center for Education. I'm representing on behalf of Srimas Faisal Khan, sir, Pro Chancellor, Noor Hassan Center for Education. So ours is a higher education institution, and we are mainly focusing on technical education. And we do have healthcare solutions and management institutions too. And we do have a lot of collaboration with other foreign universities. And we are also looking for such fruitful collaboration, because I was listening to the discussions and that highlights that is being mentioned by other speakers. Okay, because you are doing a wonderful job. Because today, as technology evolves, how we are going to provide an international exposure to all at an younger age. So that is becoming mandatory, and definitely such collaborations will help our younger generation to have such international collaborations and networking with people, so that they can get good exposure, and that will definitely develop their skill sets also, and they can reach greater height. With that motive, you are doing a great, wonderful job. And so we as an higher education institutions, so we are also interested in joining hands with you, so that our students can get some exposure with some foreign universities, and definitely they will have some opportunity to network with such good team of technological professionals and those who are motivated people, those who are doing such type of collaborative social related activities. So definitely I take this opportunity to congratulate the team, and definitely Lifeology is doing a lot in CBSE education and school education also in Indian school education system. You are contributing a lot. So I take this opportunity to congratulate your team. Thank you for the opportunity provided to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And we had to conclude by 1 o'clock. Snehal ma'am, thank you so much. Snehal ma'am has to catch a flight by around 3 o'clock, so she has to leave earlier. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you to all people joining from Finland, UAE, and India. We are coming to the conclusion. And can we have the word of thanks from Unikrishnan, Dr. Anup Janadevan and Unikrishnan are our close associate, brothers from another nation who are Malayalis. So Unikrishnan, can we have your concluding words, please?
Yeah, thank you, Ralji. Good afternoon, everyone. It has been a real privilege to be here, and on behalf of Venture Village, as I introduced earlier, we are a Finnish or a Finland-based organization committed to basically bridging innovation, research, and education. Like personally, I've been living and working in Finland for more than 15 years now, and it's great to see that Helsinki Day is being celebrated at this scale in such a nice audience and such meaningful discussions. But first, like a heartfelt thanks to our distinguished panelists and speakers, especially His Excellency Eric Afstom. In your role as the Consul General, like you have been really instrumental in multiple collaborations we have had towards India and especially Kerala. A big thanks to Dr. Lisa Toivonen, who accepted the invite, and thanks for insightful words on the Finnish pedagogy. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Snehal Pinto, ma'am, for being here as part of the panel. We met recently in Helsinki last month. Hopefully that you can make it to Helsinki again soon as part of this Curriculum 2030 program. Then, of course, like a big thanks to Praveen, Mr. Praveen and Ms. Mike, for sharing your insights and your vision in making this Curriculum 2030 into something much bigger and as a critical connection between these two great nations, right? So your reflections today have added depth and direction. And as we we celebrate this India Paiva or India Day here every year in August, hopefully, as this goes on, we will see this Helsinki Day also being celebrated at a bigger scale, or maybe we'll have a Finnish or a Finland Day or something similar, which kind of adds to this global dialogue and cooperation in education, especially. I also would like to extend the gratitude to all the educators and institutional representatives who are attending this conclave. We have already worked with many of you before, but looking forward to longer and bigger collaborations happening. At Venture Village, we have had the opportunity to work with exceptional educators like institutions like you, like in Finland, in India, and across Europe actually. From expertise in with University of Helsinki and HY Plus, and also in global research hubs like Max Planck Society or University of Innsbruck or JPL Network, we have tried to act as a bridge between Finnish pedagogy, pedagogical expertise, or the deeply rooted research culture in Europe as well, with many education institutions in India. So this effort, wouldn't have been possible without my co-founder and partner, Dr. Anup Jinadevan, who unfortunately couldn't be here. But yeah, last but not the least, a warm thank you to Rahulji, Mr. Rahul Ishwar, whom, as you had mentioned earlier, had the pleasure of meeting in Slush in 2023. And, now we are here after 2 years, making many things happen. So, to everyone who joined us today, thank you for being part of this important conversation. Let us continue this to build a society built deeply rooted in education, in equity, with innovation and mutual respect. Again, Kitos Palion, thank you.
Thank you so much, Uni. And we also especially thank this panel, Reverend Father Melvin Anil Lobo, Dr. Amida Singhal, MS Faisal Khan, Sri Adil, Chris Goodburn, who couldn't join due to the technical glitch, Dr. CB Misra, for your valuable words. For the paucity of time, we are concluding, and thank you to the Embassy of Finland, and thank you all in attending. All those people who have attended, and Praveen Parameshwar joined from Dubai, Mike, we are all. So hopefully we will all join for conversations further. And Krati, with your words, and then we can conclude the session. Yeah.
I would like to thank each one of you for making this celebration a grand event. Together, we have celebrated not a city, but a global movement for future-ready learning. Thank you once again, and we look forward to this journey continuing together.
This June, we celebrate a city that reimagined learning, led with innovation, and inspired the world. Helsinki, hundreds of years of progress, purpose, and people-first values. And for the first time ever, Helsinki Day is celebrated beyond Finland. Lifeology in Finland 2030, in collaboration with the Embassy of Finland in India, presents a historic celebration. A gathering of top school leaders, policy voices, and change makers. United by a shared mission: education, innovation, and sustainability. Join us in honouring a legacy that connects continents and launches new possibilities. June 12th, Helsinki Day. Together, let's build bridges from Finland to the future.
Thank you so much, each one of you, for joining in.